Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. An outpouring of love at funeral service for Clarendon Quintet. It was an outpouring of love for Kimisha Wright and her 4 children during their funeral service at the Stuart Hall Auditorium at Clarendon College on Sunday, as thousands paid their last respect to the slain family. The 31-year-old Wright was described in tributes as a dedicated mother who was seeking in progress in life to uplift the standard for her children, who were also remembered as students with potential and a promising future. The ceremony was a mixture of sorrow and cheering. Those who viewed the bodies were overcome with emotions, with many having tear-stained cheeks. The grief briefly transformed into cheering on the arrival of each dignitary, which included Prime Minister Andrew Holness and Leader of the Opposition Mark Golding. According to several of the individuals who paid tribute in speeches, the killing of the 5 is because many among the population have embraced a culture of violence which is used to settle disagreements among each other. The speakers included Chairman of the Umbrella Group of Churches, Archbishop Kenneth Richards, Minister of Culture, Gender and Entertainment and Sports Oliver Grange, Golding and Holness' wife Juliet. This is happening because we live in a country that is too violent. We need to change our ways. We must control our anger, value life, and show each other love. If we continue along this path, we will never achieve the destined greatness. It is a single issue that is holding us back. We need to change the mindset and culture that embrace violence and show that love and understanding is the way to settle disagreements, Golding said. Grange echoed earlier statements that Wright was a loving and caring mother who dedicated her life to her 4 children while being undaunted by the challenges of life. She called on Jamaicans to go back 188 years when slaves were united as they waited on August 1 when they would gain their freedom. She also challenged men to stop killing the nation women. Juliet Holness in her speech asked for prayers for the family members so they will receive strength in their moment of distress. The sermon was delivered by Dr. Donald Johnson, who preached about Satan being thrown out of heaven and now ruling over the hearts of the unbelievers, which is the reason for a violent act like that which took place with Kimisha and her 4 children. He said, "In Jesus there is hope." It is not a nice feeling. Mother of missing saint and teacher sympathizes with Donnelly Donaldson's family. Cheryl Williams, the mother of missing saint and teacher Rachel Williams, said she understands perfectly what the family of social media influencer Donnelly Donaldson is currently going through. Williams is still struggling to accept that she may never see her daughter again after she was reported missing on September 15, 2021. It is not nice. Can you imagine you're looking out your window every day for a year? Everywhere you see somebody, you are hoping it is her. It's like you are driving and searching. You come back and you are so tired because you are out there searching the place, said a tearful Williams. My Rochelle, because of the whole thing I am sick. The stress is getting to me and I also have cancer. I'm not supposed to worry because I'm supposed to start chemotherapy soon, but my stomach start hurting me so much from the other day. Rochelle, who was 34 at the time of her disappearance, was reported last seen at a plaza in St. Anne, dressed in a blue blouse and black pants. Her disappearance triggered an intense search conducted by residents of Goshen District in St. Anne, the police, the Jamaica Teachers Association, and the Education Ministry. Williams, a mother of 4, told reporters that her soul feels a bit emptier with each passing day that Rochelle remains missing. She said that the pain was compounded when she heard about Donaldson, 24, who has been missing since July 13. I don't know what to think. I have been praying so much about it, and I really don't know what else to think. It is so unfair. Life is just so unfair and so many things are happening. Every day you hear about somebody else, it just hits you like a ton of bricks. But this morning when my sister called and she was saying that they are going to have some protests overseas at the embassy, she was saying some family members must put up Rochelle's picture again, she said. Williams, 58, noted that the anniversary of Rochelle's disappearance is approaching and she's not dealing with it well. Every day you get up, you look out to call her, you go into her room. I don't want nobody to touch her things nor sit in her chair. It makes me wonder what happened, what went wrong, what transpired. What if she's suffering or dead? All these things run through my mind every day and it is not a nice feeling because it just hurts you. Sometimes I don't want to watch the news. I don't want to see anything. Even this morning, Thursday, they were saying that I am worrying because I can't eat. My sister called me and said it is also in pain, just pain to know that men are being so brutal. They just take them like that, as if they are not somebody's child, Williams said. Donaldson was reported last seen at an apartment of her boyfriend, Constable Noel Maitland. He was arrested on Wednesday by detectives from the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Unit. After a lengthy case review, Williams encouraged Donaldson's family to continue pushing for justice. It is a feeling that you can't express, because when it happens to somebody, it's the same thing that comes over you again. It is not a nice feeling, anxiety, fear, and just pain. But I will say to them to not give up until they get the answers that they are seeking, she said. Indicom launches probe into fatal shooting incidents in Kingston and St. James. The Independent Commission of Investigations, Indicom, says it has begun investigations into two separate fatal shootings involving the police in Mount Salem, St. James, and the Sir Florizel Gaspol Highway in Kingston. Both incidents occurred on Friday. Indicom says arising from the incidents, 2 men were killed, 1 man was injured, and a firearm was reported as recovered in one of the shootings. In the Mount Salem incident, officers attended the scene of an alleged attempted burglary at a home in Corner Court, where it's alleged that the man hurled stones at the police. It reported that one police officer discharged his firearm in the direction of the man who was fatally wounded. In the shooting at Sir Florizel Gaspol Highway, it's reported that a shootout ensued after lawmen attempted to stop a robbery in process. The police engaged in the shootout with the alleged robbers, who tried to escape on a motorcycle. It's reported that the motorcycle crashed and 2 men were seen with gunshot wounds. The men were transported to the hospital, where one was pronounced dead and the other is being treated for his injuries. Indicom says all firearms were processed, sealed and packaged for forensic testing. The hands of the deceased men were also swabbed. Indicom says the concerned officers provided initial account of the shootings to the investigative team, and the officers will be required to provide statement and attend the office of the commission to be interviewed.
The police, acting on information, went out into the Sir Florizel Glasspool area. This was the quick response team that had gotten information that robbers were traveling on a motorcycle. When they got onto Sir Florizel Glasspool Boulevard, they were able to see men fitting the description. When the police tried to stop them, they challenged the police by firing at them. The police took the appropriate action and were able to return the fire, and 2 men received gunshot wounds. They were both assisted to the hospital. We have noticed that a number of these motorcyclists are portraying the picture that they are actually doing delivery services. And so some of them have this app and they travel with other persons. And what they are doing is scouting to rob persons and in some instance shoot them. We have noticed it and we have stepped up our operations and our strategic response across the corporate area and the St. Andrew. And so once we see persons traveling on motorcycles during especially peak hours and appear to be loitering around business places, plazas, and transportation hubs, we are going to check and we are going to search and we will take the necessary action.
Sweetie girl demonstrates resilience in surviving college. Her name is Jasmine Collins, but she is more popularly known as Sweetie Girl on the campus of the Edna Manning College of the Visual and Performing Arts in St. Andrew. She recalled being on campus and having just $1,000 to her name and no food in her dorm room. Collins wondered how she would survive and then began to pray about the situation. Not long after, she was heading to a wholesale with the $1,000, but her intention was not to purchase food. Instead, she used the money to buy a quantity of sweets and a jar. That was the start of her sweetie selling business. I went down to school the following day and sold all those sweets eventually. I bought more and the small bottle that I started with began to big pan, from which I sold a variety of sweets and snacks, she told reporters. Collins said when she just started out, she would sometimes get discouraged and a little ashamed, especially at some of the not-so-kind comments from namesayers. She said that she kept reminding herself that selling sweets was critical to funding her daily needs, such as purchasing meals. Finding the courage to persevere is nothing new to the 24-year-old Collins. She got pregnant at age 21 while attending Church Teachers College. However, instead of feeling sorry for herself, she picked up the pieces and moved to Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts in St. Anne. I just finished my first year and I found out that I was pregnant, and people had lots of things to say, and at that point I felt like curling up under a stone and dying, she said. However, with the support of a praying mother, Jacqueline Scarf, the younger, prepared herself for a rebound. My mother said just brush off and continue, said Collins, who hails from Mansfield, a small farming community in Clarendon. The determined young woman chose not to return to church, opting instead to Edna Manley, where she's pursuing theatre arts. It has been a fight, it has been a struggle. I pushed to ensure that I can make something of myself so that I can be a role model for my son and other young women who might end up in my situation, she informed. The second-year student was on Wednesday presented with a scholarship at the Jamaica Education Assistance Award held at the Hazel Hall Great House in Clarendon. Jamaica's Education Assistant Program has been a feature of the company for the past 16 years. Minimum grade point average GPA of 3.0 and demonstrated financial need, among other criteria for selection. For this academic year, 70 students across Clarendon and Manchester received scholarships and grants from the company, totaling to $10 million. Collins said that the scholarship has made things a bit easier for her, even as she assured that come September, when I return to school, I will be restarting my business. Savannah Lamar Primary School to get major financial support. The Savannah Lamar Primary School in Westmoreland is set to benefit from financial assistance of US $10,000 per annum over the next 2 years under the revised Adapt a School program, spearheaded by the National Education Trust, NET. According to a release, a memorandum of understanding to provide the support was signed by representatives of Dreams to Reality DTR Foundation, Equitable Capital Management, and the school during a ceremony held at the Ministry of Education and Youth in Kingston on Thursday, July 28. Acting Chief Education Officer Dr. Kisan lauded the partnership as a gift that will continue to give. Education is a weapon that breaks the cycle of poverty and gives people the opportunity to transform their economic and social realities. You are not just touching the individuals who will benefit directly, but those who will benefit indirectly, she pointed out. She then highlighted that the education sector requires all the hands on deck to provide students with opportunities that will enrich their learning. Under the Adapt a School program, individuals and organizations are invited to identify schools within their geographical area that are in need of intervention. The objective is to promote partnership for the development of the education sector. Executive Director at NET, Latoya Harris, said the thrust aims at connecting everyone who has a genuine interest in the development of students with institutions island-wide. It's important that we put our children front and center, and how we do it is to make available to them resources and opportunities that they wouldn't normally have, she noted. Principal at Savannah Lamar Primary, Megan Berry, expressed gratitude for the financial assistance. We dreamt of this relationship, and today it is a reality. I want to assure everyone that your benevolence will undoubtedly impact thousands of lives for years to come. Thank you for believing in us, she said. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.